Round two. I should change this, but this is one of my favorite colors this year and baits. But this is like the bad luck bait. I rigged it like a bass rig. I usually always run the hook all the way through the jig, the hook through the whole jig. But it was the screw twist lock style. So I figured I'd utilize that twist lock, but it forced me to rig it like a bass rig. And it's the wobbly jig head, which I thought would be a good thing. But I put this on like 2 days ago, and I've yet to catch anything on this color using it. The days prior, we would switch this color and start getting nailed immediately. But the past 2 days, it's been opposite. It's almost become like the bad luck rig or bait, whatever you want to call it. Just because I've never went a full day and not gotten a paddle tail snagged or lost. Like, your walleye fishing the structure near bottom, snags happen a lot, especially in the Ohio River. So for this thing not to have got, one reason I haven't gotten snagged is because the way I've got snagged, but I've gotten it back. Usually we would have lost like 20 jig heads by now and baits. But the fact it's just been on there that long and hasn't gotten snagged up, it almost feels like it's become a bad luck, like a cursed or bad luck bait. But we're going to find out. Enough jawing. Let's get in the water and see what happens, y'all. Try to keep our legs wet. I was here a couple days ago, and naturally I stand out there when the water's at normal pool. So that makes me want to, fish from out there. So I walked out. Water went up over my boots. Like the first 5 minutes here, I got my pant legs wet. I do like the waves and the water action. It's like a nice steady break. The past times I was here and haven't done well, it was like a constant just crash, 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 just real. It's more laid back and lazy. Like I don't know. I feel good about it. Let's just say that. And this is round two. We were out earlier, downriver about 10 miles, and towards the end, if I had to go back to work, but if I could have stayed longer, I believe we would have got some fish. Because towards the end, the last like 10 casts, I had like 3 or 4 fish on for about 5 to 10 seconds, and they got off. So we actually started catching them, and just wasn't able to land any. At least you can run, but you can't hide. What's up? Bobby says, damn it. Yeah, we're at the dam. Damn it, man. Damn it, man. Yeah. My waders got a hole in them, but even if I had them, you can only stand out in 40-degree water for so long when it's the air temperature's in the 20s. You come out of the water and you have ice starting to form on you. So even if I could use my waders, I probably wouldn't be using them tonight. Catch you later fishing in the house. You gotta type lurk, Lurk, lurk. Catch you later fishing. Yeah, we just had a bite, I think. My bait was dropped in the water, and I went to reel back the cast, and something was on it. Unless it was a snag. We're gonna scoot over here more, man. Guys and gals, girls and guys and gals and guys. I went to Lowe's earlier and got me some silicone, some 3-in-1 to put on my guides and on my line. I even dropped a few drips on my line, so we shouldn't. Fingers crossed, our fishing rod shouldn't freeze up too bad tonight. Got 11 people in the house, only 2 thumbs up. Come on, y'all. That's a little bit insulting. 10, 11 people and only 2 thumbs up. Lisa, did you hit the thumb? You holding out till you see a fish. She's like, gosh darn it, you ain't getting no thumbs up. Been watching you 2 days now, waiting on a fish. And then this is round 2. Earlier, no joy. We didn't get anything, but it was at a different location. But I was very torn between going to the same spot we skunked at earlier or coming up to the dam. I opted for the dam because it has a little bit more light. The other place, like, it'd be hard to keep an audience at all because you're just looking out into total blackness and you wouldn't see anything until I caught a fish. So I chose the dam for the light. I know that I shouldn't base my fishing off, the best video, but hey, that's what we're here for. Give y'all something, give y'all a show. Hopefully a couple fish to look at. I do have some secret weapons tonight. Not really secret weapons, but man, we're already icing up. What's going on? Not really secret weapons, but I get complacent and I throw this paddle tail again and again and again because I caught fish on it before and I'm determined we'll catch them again. So I'll keep throwing. Dang, we're already icing up. Why is that silicone not working? It's not that cold out. Maybe I didn't give the silicone time to dry. It did say on the bottle new, the thing with the silicone though, it might ice, but the ice comes off so much easier. If I didn't have that silicone 3-in-1 on there, I'd still be fighting to try to get that first ice cube out. But anyways, I get so complacent catching something and something working, and then when it doesn't work, I'm like determined to see it work. So I got a habit of not changing baits, but if this pulsar paddle tail does not work, I have, well, first off, I got one of those panoramic minnows. Let me see. The panoramic minnows are not hollow bodied, so you can't really get a weighted hook in there. Like I use the Berkeley hollow bellies, and they're hollow like this. Anyways, I use these Berkeley hollow bellies, and you can get the hook. Like there's a hook in there, you know. See? So you can get the weighted hook in there. But I didn't have any proper hooks for these 6 cents, the panoramic minnows. And they're not hollow, so I thought, hey, you're not going to get a... But anyways, I got that weighted hook in there. Perfect. Y'all see that? Because these aren't hollow, but it was able... This elastic stretches so much, or Elastec, whatever it's called. I got that weighted hook in there. And yeah, I didn't think I had hooks for these, but the way that went in, that's perfect, man. So we got the hollow belly, we got the panoramic minnow 5.0, and if we have to break out a third stop, I have these generic X-Wrap Rapalas. The problem with these is they're too light, but what I'm gonna do is I got some drop shot sinkers. I'm gonna fish this like a drop shot, but instead of vertical from a boat, I'm gonna cast it and drag the drop shot sinker along bottom, and then that will be swimming, off of a T-knot. But I hope we don't have to break into this bag. I hope the next few casts, I quit talking and we start catching some fish. But we got a backup plan if the traditional things do not work. And if that don't work, then we got a backup for that backup and a backup for that backup. So we're going to catch some fish. We're going to catch something. And if that don't work, I got plenty of excuses, locked and loaded, ready to go. Help if I cast. I almost want to stand on that brick out there, but it's probably got ice forming on it. Oh, we snagged. No, don't snag me that quick. Didn't even get a chance to use that dang thing. All right, we're free. We free. Hit them thumbs up. Double tap that screen, y'all. Double tap. Yeah, I'm going to see if this is iced up. Nah, we're good. We're good. We're good up until the point I fall in the dang water. We're good. But until then, dang it, I keep messing this cast up. My glove, my line, blah, 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 blah. The line keeps getting caught on my glove. Dang it. Y'all would think I ain't ever casted before. Oh, that, all right, all right, all right. What? Oh, that's what's wrong. Look, it's my freaking line roller's icing. It's iced. It's frozen to the line roller. I was like, what is going on? I was about to throw this dang. See, I'm talking too much. Yeah, that's what kept happening. All right, it's broke. It's free. I breathed on it. Now we can cast. Yeah, this fluger don't like the cold. Sometimes it's something cheap. You know, something cheap works the best. $20, $15 Walmart special. You get these at Walmart. I mean, not this exact one. This is a special one, but you can get the Fluger Presidents at Walmart. Like 50, 60 bucks. Well, they was 50, 60. Nowadays, it's hard to say. But sometimes the cheap little thing works better in the cold. You never know till you try, you know. All I know so far, it's been giving me problems in the cold. That is probably why when I started the fall fishing, that's probably why this had mono or copolymer and the other lesser reel had the braid on it. And I was casting the braid out, letting it sit with a gulp minnow on it, and I was working casting this one. But I'm like, I usually cast braid. Why is this line on my good reel and my braid on my cast out and let it sit reel? And now I think I know why. I was having problems the year prior with the cold in this reel, and I put my good braid on the cheaper reel. Oh, we had a bite. We had a bite. Oh, I had a second bite. Heck yeah. Let's get it, get it, get it. Get it, baby. We had 2 bites on that cast, y'all. Catfishing lady. Loving Dean. Let's get those eyes out there. 922 says, Lisa, the fish was in the video. That's all that matters. That's all that matters, Lisa. We seen 922 and we seen a fish together. That's all that matters. You tell her, Bobby. If anybody wants to drop their link in chat, just type DOGAN, like my channel name, DOGAN, and Nightbot will drop your link. And if you're looking to you make content and you're looking for subscribers, drop your link, and I'm sure some people will be willing to check your channel out. And all you lurkers out there can type LURK in chat. LURK. And see what Nightbot does. Cold Creek Billy. Saying hopefully Palmetto has sent the rod. What rod's that? Did you win one, Cold Creek Billy? Don't miss the hook set, says catch you later. Yeah, I missed two of them. Looking at, oh, we just had another. The ice is affecting me too. I could feel when I reeled down, it felt super tight, but it was the ice. It was the ice. Ice, baby. Yeah, look at that ice, man. Looks like sugar. The roof, the roof, the roof is on fire. We don't need no water, let the mother burn, burn. See, with these walleye, I never know how they want it. You know, I mean, same with catfish, but catfish, there's not many options. It's you either speed up, you like for dragon at least, dragon baits, you know, you go 0.4, 0.5, 0.6. If that don't work, you speed up to 1 mile an hour. If that don't work, you drop down to 0.2. But this, there's a lot more options and decisions. Like, you know, do I do a slow, steady retrieve off the bottom, just bouncing off the rocks and the structure? Or do I do a fast retrieve? Or do I do a fast retrieve a foot up off bottom? Or do I reel, then stop, reel, then stop? Or do I hop it? You know, there's just like so many. I used to fish with this one guy. He would cast his jig out, reel it a little bit, and then he would let it sit for 10 and 15 minutes. He'd drink a cup of coffee, smoke a cigarette, and he'd go over there, he'd pick it up, he'd start reeling, bam, fish. The second that thing started moving, and that's how he fished. He said he let his hands warm up, and he stayed warm that way, and he could fish longer, and it worked. No one dropped their link in chat. There got to be somebody out there wanting to get your channel out there. Somebody that knows how to do it, type DOGAN in chat so you can show if there's any newbies or any shy bees out there, shy people. I almost said shysters. Any shy people, they can see how it's done, and then they can follow suit if they want. There you go. Loving Dean says doggone. And there's his link. Yeah, this is round 2, y'all. We were out earlier downriver about 10, 15 miles, and we skunked. So this is round 2 of the night. I had to go back to work. I got my work done. All my stuff was in the car. It was kind of hard not to go for round 2 after skunking earlier. And honestly, I don't even consider it a skunk. I mean, I know everybody else would. But in my eyes, if you have to quit fishing because you run out of time or you got to be somewhere or you got to get back to work, to me, that's not a skunk. A skunk is when you give up. Like you've tried everything, nothing works, the day's over, you've been at it all day, and you give up. That's a hunt skunk. But when I'm on a time limit and I gotta call it quits and I'm forced to quit, like I don't know. I need to create a new term. It's like a halfway between skunk and catching fish. I know what it's called. I ain't gonna say it. Let's just say bull talkie. It's all a bunch of bull talkie. You catch fish or you don't, right? That's what some people's thinking. Ice, ice, baby. Get off there. See that silicone I put on there, let the ice just pop. Doesn't even stick. If we didn't have that on there, we'd be fighting that for no telling how long. The dude that taught me to use that stuff, I think he's up there on that pier fishing. I think that's him. But few years ago. This dude put me onto that because I was using that Real Magic, the stuff you spray in the can, and that's good line conditioner, but it don't do nothing for no ice, like nothing at all. Got 22 people in the house. Hit that thumbs up. We got 9 people. 9 people. Can we get 10? Do we got 10? You over there in the corner. 10, 10. Do we get 10? Do we get 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 11, 11, 11? Do we have 12? 12 thumbs up. Oh, somebody took one away. That's their right. That is their right. Dean, you can call me Lisa. I thought you was going to say you can call me Daddy. Dean, you can. Okay, he says. Yeah, there's a bunch of misfits, huh? All the misfits. Is that what Santa Claus calls all the broken and bum toys and helpers? The bad elves or the broken elves, misfits? What'd you make for dinner with your fried taters and macaroni and cheese there, Lisa? Hey, I put the phone on low power mode. Does it affect the buffering or the video quality? Is everything all good on y'all's end? Because if it's buffering or lagging, it's probably because of the low power mode on. If so, let me know. We can make changes. Dang, these waves are picking up and I'm standing on this thing. I don't really have a choice to get off. I do, but the waves are coming in quicker and quicker. And when I came out here, there was like a few seconds between them crashing. So I was able to get out here and get up on this block. But now the waves are getting higher. It's okay. We don't live far from home. But I don't want my I don't want my trip cut short because I get my dang pants and boots wet. Island of Misfit Toys. Yep, Scott B knows. That's where he sent all the bad toys and broken toys. The Island of the Misfit Toys. Catch you later. Says I'm gonna scroll through lives. Alrighty, you do that, and I hope you stop back. Hopefully we get a fish for you. It's all Burrito's fault. Just ask Grandpa and Mom. Tony says. Loving Dean says the quality looks good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Look, I ain't been able to cast far enough to get that dang whoop-de-doo doll off my spool. And I'm scared to pull the line out because when I did that earlier, everything went poof because the line got mad twist. I think that's why I got such bad twist is my line, the roller's been freezing and it's been twisting the line because it hasn't been rolling. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Tony says, see, 922 already knows. What'd you make with that macaroni and fried taters, burrito? Let me guess, some burritos. I know I asked earlier. I might have, if you typed it, I missed it. Are y'all talking about your for real mom or your like a alternative second mom? Someone in the community y'all call mom. Scott B says, good question. She just wants to. Alright. I still haven't. Oh, I casted and got that doohickey off. I didn't think I could cast far enough because earlier when we were fishing, we were like 20 feet up on a wall casting down into the river. And I think you cast farther. I don't know if you cast farther when you're up elevated, but I do know more line comes off your pole. I almost stopped and got my 9-foot rod ready so I can reach out there further. But I looked at the clock and it was getting close to 10. And I needed to stop and get some laundry detergent before the store closed. So I didn't fool around with, because my rod, the 9-footer is in a tube. I gotta put the reel on it, and the reel that's on it, I think it needs new line. So, oh look, we messed up again. Yeah, I need some new line bad. All right, we're gonna have to jump off this brick because we gotta walk it to get that knot out. There we go. Man. All right, we got it. We got it. We also got all kinds of ice. I can feel it. I can feel it. Oh yeah, we iced. I shouldn't have let it get that bad. Put it in your mouth. That will melt it. You also get some silicone in your mouth too. Dang, that's freaking on there solid. I should never let it ice that bad. All right, we got it. Woo! We almost need to drop some more silicone on her. We almost need to drop some more silicone. See, that one come off easy because it hasn't been iced up. That one popped off just by touching it. That one did too. But see, them bottom guides ain't froze that much. But them top ones been froze so much it's pulling. Each time you knock some ice off, it pulls a little bit of silicone off, you know. Big brother's supposed to referee. Scott B saying ice, ice, baby. Yeah, it's iced up. 922 will declare a winner. Who's the winner? 922. You're gonna pick yourself, aren't you? I pick myself for the winner. Oh, y'all team up on her? That ain't fair. You gotta get some people in your corner, Lisa, that never leave. Oh, we gotta move. I just got freaking wet leg. It wasn't that bad though. I don't think getting a wet leg 25 minutes. How long we been at it? 29 minutes. Getting a wet leg 29 minutes into the trip, that's not too bad. Other than, woo, that's a big one. Other than the last time it happened within minutes. Yeah, we got some rollers coming through now. That one almost knocked me off the dang brick. Yeah, they must have changed the locks because they're like roller waves coming through now with some power. With some power. Captain, I need more power. Scotty, give me all you got. Scott B, the way to stop ice on your rod is move to Florida. Yes, yes, and yes. I would have to agree. 43. Y'all knew each other that long? Oh, we had a bite. We had a bite. 922 says, I ain't stupid. I might be crazy. I might be crazy, but I ain't stupid. What's that one movie where the guy's he got his head tilted sideways and he's all cross-sided and he's shaking his head saying, I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid. And he keeps saying, I'm not stupid. And then he starts shaking his head up and down saying, I'm not stupid. It's an old one. It reminds me of that cross-eyed dude on Waterboy, but I don't think it was him. Oh, is it really? I didn't know that. I thought y'all were just fooling, like how people in West Virginia say, like, sis, sis, call everybody sis. My mom did a shift, like a travel nurse shift down in southern West Virginia, and she's like, everyone says sis. They all call you sis, sis, sis. Whether you're your sister or not, that's their term of endearment, I guess. She's like, they all say it, even strangers. Yeah, I didn't know. That's crazy. Now you really got to give her crap and give him crap. Oh, Billy says I look at Bobby like an uncle. Uh, well, there's different kinds of uncles. That can be good or that can be bad. It depends what part, Billy. The more down south you are, the more you hear it. But I've been down south, 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 like by the border, and I never heard it. I don't even remember what town she said she was in. But yeah, I've never heard it too. West Virginia's right there. I mean, I'm standing in Ohio, but I can see West Virginia. And I never heard, I mean, I heard it on like TV and the internet, but I never like heard anyone in real life say it. And I've been down south too, like the Cheat River, uh, what's that other like where, well, I guess that's not really south, but where they do the bridge jump and everything. My mind's eluding me the name of that river underneath of it. But I didn't hear it down there either. But once you get so far, they start doing the whole sis thing. And they do it other places too. I think like Danny Stone does it. He's in what, like Missouri, Illinois, Missouri. That's west of me. So Cold Creek says southwestern, right by beside Kentucky. How far are you, Cold Creek, Billy, from like Paducah, like where the Ohio River and the other rivers meet? Catfish Dave did some videos down there. He said that's like Paducah. I think Hagen Grubbs does too. They both say like how great, like the best fishing around for hours and hours. Loving Dean says Southwest PA. What are you, like south of Pittsburgh or further? Not that far west. Oh shoot! So you fished that spot then, Anthony? Huh? Where like the Ohio River something flows, like two or three. Might I don't know if it's three rivers, but definitely two rivers flow into the Ohio. Wicked Weasel in the house says, "Hey Curtis and Fishing Fam, what's happening? We're just out here trying to not catch a cold and catch a fish." One good sign is there's several people up on the pier. Usually, if the fish ain't biting, the people leave. So the fact there's people up there standing out in the cold, that's usually promising. And they were here when I got here, so they're colder than I am. Scott B says Jefferson County, Kentucky. I thought you said you was from Louisiana, Scott B, or lived in Louisiana. Or was I thinking of someone else? Wicked Weasel says when trout fishing and limited out. That's good. Especially in this cold. Look, I got my bail open and the dang thing won't even cast. There it goes. We're icing up. Oh shoot. Look what happened. Why'd I do that? I blame it on the rain. Get out of there. You ain't allowed in there. You get off of there too. You get out of there. Hey, that's for solid. We got ice cubes. Alright. I gotta get some more oil. Get some more oil. Yeah, if you ever carry this stuff in your pocket, make sure you put a paper towel in it. Because this lid twists open so easily. You'll be so freaking mad. Because it'll leak through the bag. I mean, unless you got like fancy Ziploc or Glads, them rich people bags, then it might not leak. But if it does leak and leaks through the bag, you'll wish you put some paper towels in with it because, man, that silicone stuff is so hard to get off of everything. I had one leak in my tackle box once, and it leaked all on the outside of it. I couldn't carry that thing for the whole winter unless I had gloves on. If I was barehanded, it would slip right out of my hand. We got winners and we got losers, chain smokers and boozers, and we got. Dang it. Yeah, it's best to put this stuff on at the house and let it dry. Because if you let it dry, see, it says it quick drying, But if you put it on at the house and you really let it dry for like an hour, it'll actually stay deposited better. Like I put it on at the house and left 5 minutes later, you know, so like I think that's why it come off so quick. Every time I knock some ice off, you know, it would, the protective coating will wear thinner and thinner and thinner. And you can also put layers on too. Put it on, let it sit for like 30 minutes, put another layer on, like layer that sucker up. Like if you're going to be fishing the next day and you know you're going to be out in it for hours and hours, the night before just start putting layers on and let it dry, and then put more layers. And like I said, it doesn't, its job isn't really to stop the ice. Its job is to let the ice come off easy. You can just flick it or touch it or breathe on it and the ice comes right off. It won't let it freeze to the rod, you know, or the guide, or whatever you want to call it. We're going to go cast in a different spot because that place we just was not nice to me. Was not nice. Was not nice at all. The only thing here is we got bigger waves to deal with. We do have a brick we can stand on. Hickory dickory dock, the mouse ran up the clock. Way down yonder, Flipper, Flipper, he's the king of the sea. Flipper, Flipper. Oh, my nose is running. Bike fishing in the house. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Bike say hey to Scotty. Dean says I'll be right back. Gotta go edit and post a few shorts on my channel. Well, if Loving Dean the God Machine is doing all that hard work, y'all go check him out. See what he's posting. Says he's gonna upload some couple shorts. It don't take long to watch a short. Hey, does anyone know what's up with the 3-minute shorts? I heard like people were talking about YouTube is gonna have 3-minute shorts now, and then a couple people was saying they knew how to do it, but like majority of people saying they didn't see an option, and now I haven't heard anything about it. Jay Fishing says double tap. Yep, y'all double tap that screen. Me just standing out in the cold, that's worthy of some thumbs up. If you don't like what you see, you can always take your thumbs up back. Thumbs up are fully refundable. Fully refundable. Thumbs up are fully refundable. That's actually, I might coin that. Thumbs up are fully refundable. You know it's corny when you laugh at your own jokes. Kayak Fishing says hello from California. Catch a big one. You still doing some kayak fishing in Cali, or is it too cold, chilly? I know a couple people from YouTube in California, and one in particular is always saying how cold it is, but I guess there is mountains and high elevations, but I always imagine California, and I think of instant sunshine. You post any content kayak fishing with Ralph? If you do post content, you can drop your link in chat. Type DOGAN, like my name spelled, for my channel. but type dog on with an A in chat and Nightbot will drop your link for you. You're more than welcome to drop your link if you have content. We're freezing up again on the tippy tip. Yep. But see, the ice ain't even stuck to it. Something too, it could all be in my mind, but I swear that ice crunches easier when it's, when you got that silicone on your line. It's like it affects how the ice freezes. It doesn't freeze as solid. Like, could be all in my mind, but it seems like when that silicone's on there, I can just grab that ice and just crunch it. But without it, it's like solid. Got 18 people in the house, 15 thumbs up. Come on, y'all, let it rip. Double tap that screen. I'm out here putting in work. Y'all can go tap, tap. That's it. Tap, tap. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go right there. Tap that red square box. You tap that and magic will happen. We make magic happen every day on this channel. Just not today. I was going to go up on the pier and fish because there was definitely room. The only thing is, people probably get tired of me talking to myself. So I came down here by myself, away from the public. Trapper Scotty says it's free and it's easy. Kevin Henderson in the house saying, hey, everyone. Now, I don't know if he said it like that, but he does say, hey, everyone. They making shorts longer. Got a short that's 1 minute and 45 seconds. For real? See, I heard 3 minutes, and everybody was talking about it, and then bam, everyone quit talking about it. So I thought, I'm like, dang, it must just be a myth or something. Jay Fishing Outdoors says, Kevin, hey. Kevin Burrito. Misbehaving. I won't call him that. I will not repeat that. Kevin saying LOL. Lisa. Jay Fishing saying Karen. Hey, hey, hey. Remember Shanae from In Living Color? Half y'all probably too young to remember it. Shanae, Martin Lawrence, and Shanae. I was little. I thought that stuff was funny. I almost want to go back nowadays and watch it to see if it was actually funny or was I just a dumb kid. Does anybody remember a cartoon? It was called I think it was called like Living with the PJs or Living in the PJs. I think it might have been an Eddie Murphy cartoon. I'm not sure, but it was about. I can't even say. I'm laughing already, and look, I can't even say like the stuff they said on this show without probably being 100% canceled. It was back when people had a sense of humor, and you could say stuff without being called, belittled and stuff. But it was funny. If anyone's seen this show, they'll know what I'm laughing and talking about. But I think it was called The PJs or Living in the PJs. It was a cartoon about this family that lived in the projects. The mom would be like, she'd start yelling at the kids and be like, break, somebody was coming over to visit. She'd be like, break out the fine china. And they would pull out like Dixie paper plates like they washed and reused. Is that what it was, Living with the PJ? It was like this lady, and she had like 10 kids. And it might have been a spinoff of Bebe's Kids, because it's a lot Like, remember the cartoon Bebe's Kids? It was a lot like that. Like, I don't know what's come first, like the PJ cartoon or Bebe's Kids, but it was a lot like the Bebe's Kids. It wasn't on long, probably like a year. Trapper Scotty saying, Karen, Karen, Karen. I'm determined to get a fish. If I have to swim out there with a snorkel and a spear gun, we're going to get one. Oh, they're leaving. People are leaving up there. If they leave that pier, we're probably gonna go up there. I won't let people leave and deter me. I didn't go up there because they had like a whole setup, like lanterns and heaters, and they like pretty much commandeered. And I didn't want to be up there talking to myself. They not know I'm live. Because when that happens, what happens is people keep looking over at you, keeping an eye on you because they think you're crazy, and then you watch them and they slowly start to sidestep further, and they'll keep looking at you, talking to yourself, and then they'll step away a little more, and then before you know it, they're like 100 yards away from you on both sides because they think you're freaking psycho. I think it's funny, but at the same time, I don't want to make people like awkward fishing. Everyone should be able to, you know, fish and enjoy themselves or shoot, you know. Oh, I had a bite. Totally made me forget what I was going to say. I had a bite and everything that was in my mind left. I usually do tell people I'm live, but most times they're like just far enough away to where if you say something, they're probably going to be like, huh, what? And then you got to yell it. And then they're like, then it's a whole deal. They're coming closer. They're putting their hands to their ear. You're walking to them. They're thinking you're telling them something important. And then you're finally close enough to talk. And you're like, I'm live. And they just look at you like it's just totally awkward. Like, okay. But if they're close enough to where you can actually have a conversation, I'll look over and say, hey, yeah, I'm live on YouTube right now. But if they're, a piece away and I got to yell it and they might not hear me or hear what I said, and yeah, it turns into a whole deal. It happened more than once. They're like, what? And then they start walking to you because they don't know if you're telling them something important or something that's critical. And then when you finally do tell them, they're like pissed. They're mad that you like wasted their time, made them walk towards you to hear you. Like, oh hey, we got the pier, y'all. We're going up. I'm gonna give a few casts out this way, and then we're gonna go up there. Keith says you freeze. No, I'm not really cold. I I'm not cold yet. I only been out here for less than an hour, and I'm bundled up. I got good gloves on and layers. I got double socks. Got some merino wool socks on. I got my longins on. I'm actually in my work clothes, but I got my longins underneath my work clothes. They got holes in the knees. I need to sew them up, but they're thick. They're like I think Rocky brand long johns, or I call them longins, but they're actually called long johns or long underwear or thermal underwear or whatever. But that's too much to say, so I just call them longins. But now ask me in about an hour, I'll probably say yeah, it's pretty cold out here. And I got a trapper hat on with fur buckled down under my chin and tied. All right, we're gonna go up on the pier, and nobody asked if we're there yet. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Oh, y'all talking about some food. It's my dinner time. Y'all better stop. Now, I started the food talk earlier, asking Lisa what she cooked with her fried taters and macaroni. Keith with the weather. Whew, 27. We got about the same temperature, Keith. I think it's in the mid 20s. Hot. It's probably about 25, 26. Somebody type weather 43935. Weather 43935. It's probably about 25, 26. Wind chill's probably like 18, 19. Yeah, we're going to go up there on the pier. We got it to ourselves. We might as well utilize it. Plus, I already got my one pant leg real wet. If I get it any more wet, we're going to be done because I can't be out here with wet clothes. Flipper, Flipper, he's the king of the sea. It's 43935, Jay Fishing. 35, 43935. But, yeah, 85. Shoot, I wish. 85, we'd be on the jet ski fishing. I got plans for next year. I'm going to do some overnight trips on the jet ski. Since you can't have a jet ski out at night, we'll basically be, stranded on the island. There's a couple islands around here. So once, I decide to stay there for the night, we're there for the night, buddy. I'm going to do a couple camping trips, camp/fishing. My overnighters consist of me casting some rods out and leaving them with some bells on and trying to catch 2-3 hours of sleep maybe if I'm lucky. But I plan on doing that on the jet ski. I'm also going to do some bank fishing from the jet ski, find some good juicy spots, and then, park, and then cast the rods off the back of the jet ski. That way I can sit on the bank. Because sitting on that jet ski, I don't see how people do it in kayaks, for hours and hours and hours. But sitting on that jet ski for anything more than 4 hours is it's rough. Legs start cramping. Start getting muscle spasms. Or if I don't get crazy muscle spasm or cramp, I do when I get back to the truck. Yeah, it's nice up here. That white noise, y'all can't hear it. That mic filters out all the background noise. I slept up here many a nights, me and my dog. There used to be a log right here. Huge log. I mean, 4 feet in diameter, like a slab. And someone cut it with a chainsaw. I don't know if they cut it to make it a chair after it arrived here, or if it was just the way they cut it when they fell the timber. But it was sloped and it had a back like a chair. But it was so big I could put my dog's dog bed on it. And so I'd bring the dog bed, put it up on that slab of wood, and he'd just lay there till I caught a fish. And then, of course, be up in the mix trying to get to the fish. But most time he'd sleep right there and be good and stay sleeping unless he had to go to the bathroom or if I caught a fish. But I fell asleep right next to him in a chair. Many a time. That white noise from the locks, the water, that's like the ultimate fan noise, you know? If you're one of them people that got to sleep with a fan, you know what I mean? I go camping and I take a fan with me because it's like if I don't have a fan in the tent, I cannot sleep, which is crazy because most people sleep like a baby in a tent, you know, outdoors, fresh air, the stars, which I do if it's not hot. But if it's above 70, you better give me a fan. All right, let's get to the business and catch a fish. The only thing about fishing up here, there's a lot of snags. Lisa give saying anyone else want channel stickers, emails in my description. Yeah, y'all want some stickers? Check her channel in her description out. That would be cool if they has well, they do have scratch and sniff stickers, but get burritos that smell like, you know, tacos or Mexican food, some scratch and sniff burrito stickers. But you could make it a joke and it not smell like burritos, make it smell like cow patties or something. People will scratch it and expect to smell good taco burrito smell, and it smell like a cow patty. Karen saying, "Can anybody get stickers?" Burrito catfishing lady. Yes, sir. She says, "Just email me your address." Kevin and Scott B laughing, laughing, laughing. Shoot, I thought I was reeled up, but we're froze again. See, I use when it's real cold, I'll use a $15 Walmart rod, and I'll just freaking wrap it off the railing every few casts, and that's how I break the ice off. But it's not that cold yet to be using the cheaper. I think it was like last year. I think I used like a tiger rod or something. It was called tiger rod, tiger shark or something. And surprisingly, it actually held up. Usually pops the eyes out, but they didn't. They didn't. Flipper, Flipper, the king of the sea. Flipper. You know, there's like the whole other upper part of the dam. We'll walk up there sometime when it's daylight. But you get on the other side, and there's like hundreds and hundreds of square yards of nothing but open water. Trapper Scotty says tiger stick, part ugly stick. If it is part ugly stick, that would explain how it can hold up to me freaking wrapping it off this railing. Because I bought one the year before that, and the eyelets popped out of the eyes, which you can't be mad about that when you're banging it off a railing repeatedly. But that Tiger something one, it held up for the whole season. See, I like being up here because the way I fish with my for walleye. I fish with my rod straight down, straight down. I stay looking down and I just stare at that tip in that line and wait for that bite, and then. But when I'm on camera, I try to keep the rod up so y'all can have something to look at. Heather saying hi to Mike Sampson, saying hi to Jay Fishing Outdoors, to Kevin, Keith, and hi to everyone else, she says. She didn't say it, but I know that's she means it. I know what you're thinking. Hi to everybody. Everybody's saying hi back. Scotty's saying, "Love Tiger Stick" by Shakespeare. The ugly. Yeah, you talk Tiger Stick. Is that like real heavy duty stout rod? It's like 7 or 8 feet long. Like it's like an extra heavy, like the most stout rod they make. Where did that go? That sounded like it went behind me. Yeah, some crazy things happen when your guides are iced up when you cast. Sometimes you backlash a freaking open face spinning reel. Other times the jig will go behind you. Sometimes it'll drop. You'll go to reel back to cast, out to that first lock, and the jig just freaking drops straight down at your feet. It'd be nice if they did something with the locks and changed them, because that can change the bite like in the blink of an eye. Like, and they do that number 9 lock. I mean, I know that's the closest lock, but it's number 9. They go from the lock wall and count, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Anyways, that's number 9, and but number 9, they will actually. I don't know if they do it like manually on purpose or if it's computer control, but the lock will open and flow water real good and rapid for like 20 minutes, and then it'll stop, and then it'll open, close. And when they do that, it changes the whole current. Like the water flows one way, the locks will start opening, closing. It'll change the whole direction of the flow and everything, and the bite will change in the blink of an eye. That's what's nice about this place. You just like never know. Dang, it's deep out there. We just now hit bottom. That took a minute. I need to get some braid on this because it's too hard to feel. Like this carbon rod is the most sensitive rod Ugly State makes, and I'm having trouble feeling bottom with the 1/4 ounce sinker, and it's cause that line. Uh I don't know if I do or not. I'll have to check, Lisa. I don't have a sticker board. I've been meaning to get a sticker board or do something with the stickers. So I have a folder. I keep everybody's stickers in, but I'll have to check. I thought about putting them on my boat, start covering the boat, but the only thing is my gel coat on my boat is old. It's from the 90s. It's real porous. It's not smooth like glass. And since it's so porous, I don't think stickers will stay. I mean, they'll stick, but I don't think they're going to stay for more than a week or two because water and stuff will get behind them. What I should do is just stick a few stickers on the boat and see if they stay. And then if they stay, then I know I'm good to stick all the rest on. Key says we need some fish calling. It hasn't worked. They were calling them earlier. This is round 2. I was out earlier in the daytime between like 3 and 5, and I had to go back to work. And I just got done work, and all my gear was in the car. Fishing pole looking at me, and I said, "Well, we're gonna go back out." I did have to pit stop at home to bundle up some more. Yeah, I'll look. If I don't have any, I'll definitely send you an email. One problem, there's more corn. There's more current out there than I'm realizing. because I'm letting my jig sink to the bottom, and it's taking a long time, and it's not that deep out there. So I mean, it is like to the left is crazy deep. Like I wouldn't even be able to tell you. I don't know if it's 30 feet or 50 feet, but right here it's like 1 foot, 2 feet deep, and it gets deeper as you go out towards the lock. But in that like 3, 4, 5 feet of water, my jig's taking like 20 seconds to sink the bottom. So that's telling me the current. There's more current than I'm thinking. And when I'm fishing bottom, I'm actually not. See, now I'm on bottom. I just felt it. Wow, there's ice crystals coming up off the water. I thought it was snow, but I stopped and looked at it, and they're actually coming up. Well, we're gonna give this white pulsar fire ice probably about 10 more casts, and if we don't get bit, we're gonna put another lure. We're gonna change it up. Change it up. I guess I should have changed it up before I went from 20 people to 7 people. Did I cast on the bridge? I think I cast it on the bridge. Yep. Look, y'all. I'm freaking fishing. I'm jigging. I was dragging it across the deck of the pier. Thought I was dragging it across rocks in the river. Not gonna catch fish that way. I can promise you that. I can promise. You know the hardest thing to do is when you use a $15 rod and wrap it off the railing to get the ice off. It's so hard not to just do that with any rod. It's a bad habit to start, let me tell you that. Because if you do it once, then you just naturally want to do it. But then you're like, no, I can't do that with that rod. Because look how thin that is. That would freaking break for sure. I was gonna say something and I forget. Must not have been important. Trapper Scotty says I need a logo. You and me both, Scotty. They have AI like free trials for AI programs, and you can just click on the style you want, type some keywords in, and hit boom, and it creates. I was playing with one where it creates like 2 images for you. It actually gives you like 100 credits for free. It's like a free trial, and you get like 100 coins or credits. And each time you make an image, it takes a credit or something. And then at the end, you have the option to sign up or discontinue. But that's probably the best way to do it on your own. Just find one of them AI art programs with the free trial. But see, I did it, and the one I was fooling with, I didn't like it. It looked like real pictures, like actual photographs that someone took. Uh, I was trying to get it to create a dog holding a catfish in its mouth, like it just grabbed it out of the water for me, you know. And these pictures were ridiculous. For one, it wouldn't do. I was typing Great Dane, and it wouldn't show every. It was showing up like German Shepherds and Bulldogs and Mastiffs. But no matter what I did, it would not show a Great Dane. And then it was the fish. It was like freaking biting freaking fish's head off, like all bloody. Like I was just trying to get a picture to where it was the dog was holding in its mouth for you, you know, not killing it. But I didn't have any luck. But that was just one program I tried. So if you want a logo, I'd fool with some of them free AI programs. Lisa says, all right, let me know. Good night, y'all. All right, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for stopping by earlier. If we catch a fish, I will dedicate it to you since you're a loyal subject. We're about to change the baits though, because this one ain't working. Actually, I'm gonna fish this one till we get snagged, because I'll have a better chance of catching a fish if I'm fishing the structure properly. Catching walleye and sauger, you can't be scared to get snagged. But when you're live streaming, you're just naturally not wanting to get snagged, you know? So yeah, we're gonna fish this proper like so we get snagged, and then we'll put that other one on. My guess is I'll get like 3 or 4 casts at the most before I'm snagged fishing it like this. Heather saying good night to Burrito and take care. Trapper Scotty saying thanks, lady. Bill saying thank you, Burrito. A Dorito burrito. That sounds good. I think they made them, didn't they? Dorito burritos? No, that was Fritos. Frito Lays. The crunch wraps or something. Burrito with the Frito Lays. I know they did the Dorito taco shell. Did they do a burrito with Doritos in it? Fish. Oh, we lost it. We had it. Oh, you know what I just realized? My drop net's up in the car. I didn't bring it because we were down on the rocks. We were down there fishing, so I didn't need a drop net. Now, if we get a good one, man, I'm gonna kick myself in the keister if we hook up on a PB walleye and I don't have my drop net. Oh, did I cast on the bridge again? Yeah, that ice is grabbing the line and stopping it from deploying. So when I cast out this way, it's wanting to go that way. Yeah, we had one, y'all. Let's see if we can't get that sucker back. We'll cast that path a few times. Trapper says thinking about stupid Dorito burritos. You might be thinking for something that they don't even have. I know they made the Dorito Locos Taco, the Doritos Taco, hard taco shell, but I don't know if they ever made burritos with tacos in them, like Crunch Up. I know they did the Fritos. I think it was like a Crunchwrap Supreme or Crunchwrap Junior. I know they sold like $1 burrito with Fritos, beans, and beef or rice, beef, and Fritos, maybe beans, but they were like $1. They had Fritos, but I don't know if they ever had Doritos. I know I put Doritos in my taco meat sometimes when I'm cooking the taco meat in the skillet. I'll crunch up a few handfuls of Doritos and put them in there. I prefer hard tacos, but they hurt my teeth so much nowadays to where I've been just eating soft tacos. But I'll take hard taco shells or Doritos and I crunch them up and I put them in the meat like right before I make my sandwich. That way they got a little bit of crunch to them. I said my sandwich right before I make my burrito. That way the ones I crunch up in the meat, they're not soggy, but they still have a little bit of crunch, you know? Heather with the cat call, fishy call, here, fishy, fishy. Yeah, fishy, fishy. We're desperate. Please bite my hook. They put this new Shell gas station sign up in my town, and let me tell you, it's fooled me. It looks like the moon. I wish y'all could see it, but it's too far down the river. But it looked like the moon. It's the Shell sign, the Shell gas station. It's like yellow with red lines. But when it's up in the sky real far and it's a small sign and you look at it from the distance, it looks, when the moon rises and sometimes it looks like the sun. Got that like orangish, yellowish look to it. But this Shell gas station sign, I bet you it fooled me 15, 20 times these past couple months. I'll be driving and look out of the corner of my eye and look and expect to see the moon, and it's that dang Shell gas station sign. That's a tongue twister. Shell sign, Shell sign, Shell sign, Shell sign. I mastered it. Try that one 3 times fast. Cell shine, cell shine, cell shine. Oh, it ain't that hard once you get it, but trying it at first, my brain could not connect the dots. Aaron says, Heather, do you have stickers? And Heather says, no, I don't post videos. I just support channels. You do more support channels. You go above and beyond. Always there with the cat calls. Always welcome everybody that comes in the chat and steps out. Hey, we had a bite. I'm still excited about that last bite we had like 10 minutes ago. This is round 2 from earlier, so I'm just trying to redeem myself. I said we were going to fish this jig until it got snagged, and we'd probably only get 3 or 4 out of it. I can't believe we still haven't got snagged. There's not much wind. I'm glad there's not much wind. It would be unbearable if there was any wind. Terrence, well, said something about Jay fishing. I didn't see Jay fishing's message. I went to scroll back up, but my phone won't swipe with these gloves. I thought they were touchscreen, but they must not be. I must be thinking of some other ones. Some other one. Let's catch that one hungry fish. 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 I was watching old Flipper TV show earlier, and old Flipper found himself an albino dolphin, all white. And this poacher was trying to kill it. And then they thought the dolphin was a boy, and it actually ended up being a girl. Because after the white dolphin left, uh, its babies came out. Flipper showed up with the dolphin babies. That's one thing I've never seen in real life is dolphin babies. Like, if you think about it, we got a fish. We got one, y'all. Are we gonna land it? If it gets off, at least so y'all can see it. See it, see it, see it. It's shaking like a dang skipjack. I thought for a second it was. I've been hearing tale of people catching skipjacks fouling around here again. Little Sauger, talk about a freaking skunk breaker. That's tiny, 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 tiny. But hey, it's a fish. Oh, oh, oh. This fish is for Lisa. I said the first one's for her, dedicated to burrito. And it's suiting, isn't it? Look, it's like a burrito shape. Like I'm going to eat the burrito. Take a bite. It is just like a shape of a burrito. I call these cigars. These are cigar fish. Like a big old stogie. But we're going to call these burrito fish now. Instead of calling them cigars, because they're cigar sized, these are going to be known as the burrito. Burrito sized. Ready to go for the ride of your life? Nah, it ain't that far. It's like 10 feet. About 10 feet. All right. We caught one. That's positive. That's a good thing, y'all. We're going to see if we can't catch another. Get some hydration. Some of that good old tap water. Because I done refilled this bottle. It was empty. You know, they come to my house. They did a test on the water. I should have never let them in. That was my first mistake. If someone from the city or someone third party that works for the city comes knocking on your door, don't let them in your house. Do yourself a favor. I let the gas company in my house once. Next thing you know, my gas is off for 3 days. And I didn't even know it. I went to work. I left. Didn't even know the gas was off for like a day and a half. And then it took like another day and a half to fix the problem and get it back on. But I let someone in the house from the water department, not like actually from the water department, but a third party company. And they asked where the meter is. And I'm like, it's in the basement. Where in the basement? I'm like, man, it's buried. You got to climb over stuff. Well, we got to see it. We got to see it. Blah, blah, blah. Anyways, show them it. They do some testing on it, scratch the paint. Oh, this is lead. This has to be replaced. They get the clipboard out, start jotting down, and telling me the line coming from the street into the house is my responsibility, and it's lead, and it has to be replaced. And if not, they'll shut the water off in so many weeks or months. And I got an argument with that. Okay, it's lead. We established that. But you're telling me no other connection in this whole town is not a lead, there's not a single lead pipe or valve or joint or fitting underground? Not a one? So what makes it different? Okay, I fix my pipe into my house. It's no longer lead. It's still passing through other lead pipes to get there, but they're acting like it's life or death, has to be done. And my argument is there's other lead pipes in town. You know, we're talking about the oldest city, the first settlement in the state of Ohio, the oldest settlement in the state of Ohio. So this town is old, 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 old. They still dig up wooden water pipes. So you're telling me we got wooden water pipes still, but there's not no lead? Bull talkie. But yeah, they're pressing me to get this done. And I know the pipes they're going through probably dozens and dozens of lead fittings and valves and pipes to get to my house. Oh, look, they bit my tail off. They tore me up. Look, they bit my tail off. You know what? I never been a fan of the way I bass rigged this, anyways. So we're gonna take that off. Which one do y'all want? The hollow belly Berkeley or the panoramic minnow? Top one or bottom one? I'm not even going to try to say that name. We'll just call you M. M says, hey, everyone. Hey, Trapper. How's the trapping season this year? Busy moving, bro, he says. Do y'all know each other? Or do you just by his name, you know that he traps? All right, Keith says we're going to use the bottom one. Panoramic minnow. I was going to pick the top one. But hey, I asked. That's like going to a restaurant and they ask you how you want your steak and you described it and take the time to tell them how you want it cooked. And then it comes out completely the opposite. Like, oh, I want it well done. And they bring it out pink. Or you say, oh, I want it medium rare. And then they bring it out overcooked. And it's like, what'd you even ask me for if you was going to ignore my request? Like, you know, that drives me crazy when they do that. Ask you how you want your steak and then totally ignore what you tell them. Like, well, shoot. Would you even, you know? If you wasn't going to cook it how I want it, why'd you bother even asking me? Yeah, they tore this thing up. Bit the tail off. See, normally it would have just pulled my pants down, you know, but this is that twist lock. See the twist lock thingamajig? That's another reason I don't like doing it like that. You don't get snagged, but instead of just pulling the pants down or pulling the plastics down the hook, it rips the tails off. Anyways, enough John. Let's get the panoramic minnow on there. The only thing is this is a little big for them little sauger, that little burrito fish we just caught. What you see is what you get. Keep it country, like the radio. Normally I'd tie a loop knot on here for more action, but my hands are cold, and now I'm tying the easiest knot I know how to tie. Tying the easiest knot I know how to tie. I do not know the name. I tie and I tie and I try and I try to remember its name. Trying to zip my jacket, and I can't see past the cell phone strapped to my chest to find the dang zipper. Okay. He says, feels like he's gonna bring a walleye right up to you. I hope. Sounds like y'all do know each other. Well, I don't think I ever seen you in chat. I'm glad you stopped by. Hopefully I can catch another fish for y'all. Oh, 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 look what I almost did. Holy moly, I was just about to cast it, had my finger on the trigger. Do y'all notice anything funny about that? That looks like ice. Freaking styrofoam. Now we're ready. We cooking with peanut oil now, boy. What if a shark just jumped up out of the water and was like, okay. The only thing I'm concerned with about this panoramic minnow is it's only an 1/8 ounce weight inside of it. And I was just saying earlier, there's more current than I realized. And that was a 1/4 ounce jig. So 1/8 ounce with even more plastic or rubber, it's not going to want to stay on bottom. We broke the skunk. It was a burrito sized fish, but we broke the skunk. Ooh, I think we had a bite. No way, that quick. Oh man, that thing's floating on surface. I do like how it dives down. It came up to the surface, and when I let the line slack, it started like spiraling and like flipping and twisting and sinking off slow like. Dude, we might catch a freaking monster with this 5-inch bait. Y'all in Alaska, you guys probably think 27 degrees Fahrenheit. Y'all would probably be outside in shorts and a t-shirt, drinking an iced cold drink, drinking an iced beverage, saying it's 27. It's so warm and nice out. Mm-hmm. 27. M says it's about to warm up to that temp in their part. 20 warm up to 27. That's pretty bad. Do you trap as a hobby, or is that your main source of survival, trapping? There's this one dude I follow from, I think he's in Canada. He traps them lynx, and them things got some calls. I think it was a lynx that had some big old calls. I don't even know how I ended up with uh Facebook friends with this dude, because I don't know him. He's from Canada, but he traps and catches wolverines and uh, lynx. There's something else he catches too. Forget what it's called. I'm wanting to think badger, but it's not. I don't. Maybe it is a badger. Maybe it was badger that had the big calls too. New hats and mittens every few years. Yeah, I was watching Reef Robber's channel last night, and he was showing everybody those furs he had on his wall, and I don't even know what it was, like a fox or something. And I thought, man, that would be nice to have to wrap around your neck when it's cold. Look like one of them fancy women on Wall Street with them big old fancy poofy furs. Oh, you know what? That's one of the names I was trying to think of was a martin. That dude in Canada catches them martin too, I believe. Martin, wolverines, badgers, and lynx, and a bunch of other stuff too, of course. But them are the four like most exotic I'd call because we don't have them around here. We got some feisty raccoons. We got some raccoons that'll beat up a pit bull. The panoramic minnow hasn't done anything yet. It did get a bite. As soon as I casted it, bite. M says they have them up river from me. Oh, I didn't know that. He's the real deal, huh? Eskimo, trapper, hunter, fisher. So you probably live where like ice road truckers make them long hauls up north and drop goods off. You live in one of them villages to where like a town you can't get goods or supplies until everything freezes and the trucks can bring it? Or is it just like that on TV? Is it really not like that? Because I always thought, I'm like, why can't they just deliver stuff by plane? I mean, I know trucks can haul way heavier loads than planes, but I mean, they got like big, C-130s can parachute a freaking Humvee out of a uh, airplane. They got to be able to deliver some groceries. The only time I ever seen a martin is watching Wild Kratz Brothers, that cartoon on PBS. They use their super creature power, and they turn in. I've seen them turn into a martin. A village on the Bering Sea. Huh. Bering Sea. It ain't. That's where they do a lot of gold dredging, isn't it? The Bering Sea. We were talking about gold earlier. Copper Scotty said he's the only person that. Well, he didn't say, but no one else. I asked if anyone panned gold before or went gold mine, and there was like 40 people in chat, and not a single person said yeah, except for Trapper Scotty. Yeah, when them gold shows were on Discovery Channel years ago when they were popular, I was like addicted. I watched every episode, especially that one show with that Todd dude. It had the kid Parker who took over the gold mine from his dad or his grandpa, and then Todd, he had his own little crew and gold mine. I forget what that show was called. I think it was on Discovery. I used to watch that a bunch. Got 9 wonderful people waiting to see if I catch another fish or if my fingertips fall off first. Now, it's not that bad as long as you dress proper. If you just come out here in a hoodie, man, I see that fish just diving so slowly. It's so beautiful looking. Yeah, if you just come out here with a hoodie and a pair of blue jeans, you're gonna be cold. But if you dress proper, it's not that bad. Them gloves I had on earlier, them orange ones, oh, them things were horrible. The tops were warm because they were cloth, but the underside was like this thick rubber, and that rubber just got so cold so quick where my hands, basically the cold of that rubber overtook the warmth in my hands, and my hands just couldn't keep up. The blood flow couldn't keep up with keeping my fingers warm, and they were hurting. But these gloves are good. And what's weird is these gloves are thinner than the ones I had earlier. The ones I had earlier were thick, like too thick to even be fishing with, but they weren't warm. Just because they're thick, that don't mean warm. That thick rubber got cold and just stayed cold. Kevin says, cool to know, Scotty. Dean, we got one sauger about 20 minutes ago. Ooh, we just had a bite. I wasn't even fishing. I was just talking. Yeah, we caught one sauger 20 minutes ago. I usually call them a cigar fish, but I said we'll call them a burrito size because it was about burrito size. Yeah, we just had a fish. We just had a good bite too, man. I don't think that was a walleye or a sauger. Fishing this panoramic minnow with only an 1/8 ounce weight is very weird because it doesn't even sink. It like glides and like floats, and it's very buoyant. It sinks, but it also has buoyancy. So fishing it is weird because you can't normally you just cast, wait a few seconds, hit bottom, start jigging. But this thing does it like a little dance on its way down. Oh, you work for Parker for real? That's cool. Yeah, I think their last name was like Snarber, something weird like that. But I remember watching on that show the old grandpa. He was old, like 90 something. Reminded me of my grandpa. He's getting too old, and I guess the dad wasn't interested in it, but the grandson was. That kid seemed like he had everything handed to him on a silver platter, though, or gold platter, I should say. I remember watching the show thinking, must be nice. All you got to do is be born, and you get a gold mine handed to you. A literal gold mine. Here you go. Shoot, that kid's probably an adult now. That show was 10, 15 years ago. A lot of miners upriver from me, M says. Chernobyl. I watch some miners on YouTube. There's dudes that do live streams. They dredge and then they come back to camp at night and they'll set up a live cam while they're going through their pay dirt, running it through the sluice and panning. It's pretty cool. A lot of people watch it. I was watching it the other night. There was like 1,400 people watching live stream. Dude panning for gold. M says, agree, that's pretty lucky, but he kept it going. That's the cool part. Yeah, that's cool. Hopefully his grandpa lived long enough to get to see that he was able to be successful. My grandpa just turned 96, and he started a transmission shop back in the 50s. And the his other sons have several transmission shops now too, different businesses, different names, but he got them all started. And his first shop that he started, the original first one, he handed off to his son, and his son run it into the ground, and he's disgusted. He's 96, and he sees what the business turned into, and he's just freaking disgusted. Like, doesn't even he used to complain and talk about it and how horrible the place was and how filthy and just how just just run so poorly. And he don't even talk about it no more. Like, it makes him so sick. He I haven't heard him mention it. Last I heard is his son was trying to sell the shop, and they gave him some lowball offer, like 250K or something, and that's because of the condition that it's in and how much junk and just trash. Like, and the thing is it's $1 million location. It's in a popular city, right off I-7, Interstate I-70, like quarter mile from I-70. Any property that close to Interstate 70 is $1 million property. An empty lot, $1 million, just because it's right off Interstate, major interstate. But yeah, they gave him some lowball price. And what's crazy is my grandpa was the one that was trying to sell it, like out from under his own kid, because he's so disgusted with how things been ran. I wanted to say, shoot, give it to me. I need a bigger garage. But I would be hated. Any family that doesn't already not like me definitely wouldn't like me if I did that. But at the same time, it would be hard to say no if someone offered you a place that was 5 times bigger than what you currently have. I'm in Ohio, right on the border of West Virginia and Pennsylvania. I'm right where, if you look on the map, they call West Virginia the Northern Panhandle. I'm I'm standing in Ohio, and there's West Virginia where them lights are, and Pennsylvania is about 10 miles that way. All the towns up and down this river, no one's ever heard of them. If I want to, use a reference point, I have to mention like Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Most people know where Pittsburgh is, especially because like the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're so close to Pittsburgh. Everyone, like, there's what, two football teams in Ohio? I think the Browns and the Bengals. But this is like, we're in Ohio, but this is Steeler country. Everyone roots for the Pittsburgh Steelers. No one roots for the Ohio teams. It's weird because we're in Ohio, but we're so close. We're so close to Pittsburgh to where everyone just naturally, that's their team. And it always made me wonder, like, does that many people in the United States like the Pittsburgh Steelers, or is it just because we're so close to Pittsburgh? But I just always thought, living in Ohio, that people would root for Ohio teams, especially since there's two Ohio teams. Like, okay, if you don't like one team, there's another one. But nah, people don't fool with the Browns or the Bengals. They Pittsburgh Steelers all the way. Like, if you walk into a bar and you like any team but the Steelers, even though we're in Ohio, you're gonna get a lot of frowns. Let's just say that. Not too many people's gonna be smiling at you. if you walk into a bar and say something about the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it's weird because, like I said, we're in Ohio. Well, we got the 20% message. Kevin says 100% Bengals fan. How far are you from Cincinnati? Couple hundred miles, 200 miles. I just got the 20% message for battery. But hey, we caught one fish. I think we can land a couple more though before my battery runs out. I wish it was daylight and y'all could see how this minnow acts. Like, it's crazy how I might be able to with this green light actually. Nah, not really. But it sinks so freaking amazing. But nah, 20% battery, I think we can get like two or three more before we caught one. I think we can get a couple more before the battery dies. Kevin says 3 to 4 hours. Yeah, there's a couple people that like the Bengals. I'd say there's more people that like the Bengals than the Browns around here, which is weird because we're closer to Cleveland than Cincinnati. Not much though. I think Cincinnati's like 4 hours, Cleveland's like 3 hours. Bengals all the way. Who dat? We got two Bengals fans in the house. Dean says 100% Steelers fan, raised south of Pittsburgh. The town I live in, Roethlisberger's family lives there. His, I think it's his grandparents. Yeah, I think it was his grandparents. But yeah, Ben Roethlisberger's grandparents lives in my town. My town has 5,000 people, and believe it or not, a lot of famous people either come from my town or they have family that lives here. Like there was this famous movie star lady trying to have a baby, but she couldn't. Uh, what's it called when someone else has the baby for you? Surrogate mother or whatever. I think it was like Sarah Jessica Parker. Is that a movie actor? Sarah Jessica Parker? I think that's who it was. But Sarah Jessica Parker was trying to have a baby and couldn't, so she ended up having a surrogate mother have the baby for her. But the lady lived in my town. The surrogate mother lived in my town. And the police, I think it was the police chief, uh, might, but two police officers, and I think one was the police chief, they got in trouble for, they broke into this surrogate mother's home and stole stuff and took photographs and pictures, and they sold the stuff to like one of them crazy newspaper when you're in the checkout aisle and it says like cow born with three heads or UFOs found, like the sun, I think it's called, like the sun. But they sold the pictures and the items they stole from Sarah Jessica Parker's surrogate baby's mother's house and sold them to the Globe or the Sun or some stuff, and they got caught. Uh, they found, I don't know how, but they found out that what they did, and they turned on each other, and both of them told one another exactly how it went down and how much they got paid. That was like, other than Ben Roethlisberger's grandparents being from my town or living in our town, that Sarah Jessica Parker thing was like the biggest thing. Like, you heard about it for like a year. It's all people talked about. Like, people acted like you didn't already hear it 10,000 times in a small town. But I think that's who it was. Does that sound right, Sarah Jessica Parker? Kevin says, "Sorry, Karen, I accidentally deleted your comment. I was gonna sub to your channel. I seen a deleted message, but I just assumed it was somebody trolling. One of the mods got them." Dean says, "Wow, you do have small towns. Small town has like 19,000 people, and actually, 5,000 isn't a small town. That's a big town. My town is in the county. It's one of the biggest. It's not. It's the most populated. My town has, in the whole Belmont County, Ohio, my town has the most people per capita. So the most people per capita, it doesn't mean that your town's the biggest town, like the biggest square miles or acreage, but it means you have the most people in 1 square mile. But yeah, our town's uh the biggest per capita, and we have 5,000 people. So like 5,000 is actually a big town around here. And we're actually a town too. Up and down the river, most places are just villages or in corporations. Uh, well, we have enough people to be considered a town technically. But like right next to us is Bridgeport, and they're the village of Bridgeport. Right now, we're in a village. Actually, I have to drive. Other than my town, I got to drive like 20 minutes to get to the next town in Ohio. Now, if we go straight across the river, then West Virginia, there's Wheeling, West Virginia. That's a town, and that's bigger. They got like, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure like 100,000 people or something maybe. But that's not just in like one town. That's spread across like 10 other little towns. I guess you'd call them suburbs, but we don't really. That's not really a term that exists around here. Suburbs. We just call them towns, villages. I think the reason we don't have suburbs is because the Ohio River splits us. So, like, if the Ohio River, if the state line wasn't right here in front of me, splitting West Virginia and Ohio, then downtown Wheeling, West Virginia, would be our main city, and all these other towns surrounding it would be like the suburbs. But since it's in a different state, you can't call them suburbs because it's a suburb of what? A different state, a different town in a different state. Like, so it's like the suburb of nothing. So suburbs ain't even really a word around here. I guess because there's no big city in Ohio for us to be a suburb of, if that makes any sense. Oh, there's buku muskie spots. Big muskie. Right here, the Ohio River. Amazing muskie. And there's a couple lakes too. They got like 40 and 50 inches in it. I actually never got into muskie fishing. One thing that always kept me away is the cost. You go into Cabela's and a muskie lure is freaking $50. But I tell myself, one day, there's things in my mind I save for later in life. And I tell myself, muskie fishing will be one of those things I will get into later in life. Probably when I can afford a muskie lure. Nah, I'm just kidding. I know you can get on Amazon and buy cheap musky lures and stuff. But I just never got into musky fishing, but I definitely plan on one day. But yeah, John Euler saying he fishes this in the spring. Good spot. Yeah, in the spring when all the fish are spawning, it's amazing. I mean, any dam, because all the fish come upriver to spawn in the spring, and they keep going and going and going until they hit the wall and stop, and they all just pile up here. Every species, dozens and dozens of different species. I was here in the spring with my kid, and we had a sabiki rig on, and we were catching white bass 3 at a time, every single cast. It was amazing. Today, the bite's not been hot, John. We caught one sauger, and that's it. And this is round two. This is round two. I was out. I was at the creek, Wheeling Mouth Creek, and didn't get anything. But I had to go back to work. Right when I was about to leave it, when it got dark, we started getting bit. We got I actually had like 3 or 4 fish on, and they got off. But we didn't get anything. But this is round two, and so far we got one little burrito-sized sauger. John Euler giving all the musky spots out free of charge. Nah, that's then when he asked Muskie, Piedmont was the first thing that came to mind. Yeah, Ohio's an overlooked place for fish, let me tell you. I mean, the state record blue cat, I think, is like 100 pounds, 101 pounds. That's pretty dang big. Flathead record, I think, is like 70 pounds. I could be wrong on that. Channel cat is like 37 pounds. And the way I see it, just because someone caught the state record, that does not mean that's the biggest fish in the water. That's just the biggest fish that was caught. Like when I caught that 38-inch striped bass, my first thought went to, there's bigger ones. There's bigger ones. If I caught this one, I didn't just catch the biggest fish in the lake. I know I didn't. There's bigger ones out here. Like I was so excited. I was like, I was wanting to freaking go and keep fishing. I got a fish of a lifetime, and I couldn't wait to get my lines back in the water. Now, even walleye, people don't realize it, but the Ohio River, Lake Erie gets all the attention for walleye, and I'm cool with that. Let all the walleye fishermen keep flocking to Lake Erie. I don't fish it, but the Ohio River, I mean, I wouldn't say just as good as Erie for walleye because there's not the numbers, but we have the quality. Like the quality of fish from the Ohio River walleye is just as good as the quality in Erie. But again, we don't have the numbers. You can't go out and fill up a boat full. You can't take a charter out and get a boat full of wall. It just ain't like that. But we do have ones that are just as big. Like I have a walleye mounted on my wall, and the day I dropped it off at the taxidermy, I went fishing, and I caught one that was 2 inches bigger. Like, you want to talk about make you sick, drop a fish off at the taxidermy, and then you catch one the same day that's even bigger. But I wasn't as bummed or upset as you'd think because I thought about it long and hard, and I was happy to have the fish that I caught at the taxidermy because it was in December, close to Christmas. It was a slow night. I was out here freezing, icicles coming off my chin and my nose. Uh, in other words, I worked very, very hard for that fish. And the fact that my hard work paid off and I landed it and I got it, and it was like that whole experience. So it wasn't necessarily about the biggest fish on the wall mounted. It was more like yes, I'd like to have a bigger fish on the wall, but I want that fish. Like, that's my fish. I'm the one that got it. That whole night, the whole day, I remember everything. Like, I can play it back like a video in my mind. Like, it was just such an amazing experience. So even though it's the smaller walleye, I that's the one I'd want. When I look up at the wall, that's the one I'd want to see. Because the one I got, the bigger walleye I got the same day I dropped it off, and didn't have to work hard for it. I mean, not that day. I mean, I still had to work hard for it because if you take all the days prior, all the months and the weeks and the hours prior to that I'd never caught fish and all the time I put in, then yeah, I had to work for it. But uh, that day, that fish comes so easy. So putting that one on the wall wouldn't have the same meaning as the smaller one that I had to work for. All right, John, if you're still in here, says head to bed. Good night, y'all. Yeah, you popped in stream earlier too. Yeah, he was around for round one when we skunked. I've been talking more than I've been fishing this panoramic minnow because it's so light and it sinks so slow. I have to cast it out there and let it sit and sink, and it takes like 30 seconds to sink. And in that 30 seconds, I start talking. And then I start reeling and retrieving it back without even really thinking. And I look and it's dragging across the surface of the water. I never caught a muskie. They say it's the fish of 10,000 casts. That should be what walleye is called, the fish of 10,000 casts. Because I fished this same spot for decades and never caught a walleye in my life. Never even got one on accident. But then when I tried to catch them on purpose and target them, you catch walleye after walleye after walleye. And I was so amazed that I was able to catch a fish that I never caught in all these decades. And I fished this, spent the night here, had the sun come up on me more times than I can count. And I never even accidentally caught a walleye. So to decide to target them and then to actually catch them, and they're like these big, amazing fish, and it's like they've been in this water all these years, all this time, and I'm just now catching them. Like, but yeah, I would say it probably took 10,000 casts before I caught a walleye. That's what it feels like today. 10,000 casts. Now we probably cast about 100 times, 120. Now you could tell the fisherman's story. It was this big. Trapper Scotty saying, "Hey, the wild hook." In other parts of the country, when they say a fish is this big, like a fish is this big is actually a big fish in other parts of the country because uh they go by the width of the fish, the head, the width. They're like, oh, this fish was this big, and they're telling the story and they're all excited, and you're like, why is he so excited over a 6-inch fish? But they talk about the width of the head. I think the United States is like the only people who like measure a fish by, putting their arms out as big as they can to tell how big their fish was. In other parts of the world, they use the head, the width. So if you ever see someone telling a story from a different part of the world and they're so excited and they're telling you the fish was this big and you're thinking like trying to make sense of it, they're talking about the width of the fish. We should have just dropped this down vertical and just been jigging this thing off bottom and wait for something to come along. And I could give my left arm a break because it's hurting. Dean says the muskie he caught the other day was definitely chunky and had the winter bulk. Already bulked up, was it? Dang, it's already midnight? I worked too late. See, I don't like working late. Not in the winter time. Because, like, you work into the evening and then you do something afterwards and it's like, dang, it's already midnight. But in the summertime, when it don't get dark till 9 o'clock, and say you work till 9 and it's just getting dark, it's 9 o'clock. You can go do something for 2 or 3 hours, and you realize you're like, hey, all right, it's midnight. I bet it's been dark for a few hours. But when it gets dark at 4 o'clock, you kind of lose track of time. Because I mean, I judge time off of how long it's been dark or how long it's been daylight. But when it gets dark at 4 and it's been dark for 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, you kind of lose track. Like, I was so surprised to look down and see that it's past midnight. Our phone is we got the 10% message a while ago, so I switched my phone to where it tells me the percentage instead of just a bar graph, but I have it on low power mode right now and it doesn't tell me the percentage. The way I used to fish this pier is I would just walk it. I'd have my rod in the water and I would just jig it and walk up and down it, back and forth, back and forth. And that will work a lot of times. We're going to do it now. See, we'll probably get a snag because I know there's logs down there. Because when the water was low, I looked and seen it. Got 29 thumbs up. That's pretty good, y'all. Let's get 30. If anybody hasn't hit that thumb up yet, double tap that screen. 30 thumbs up is pretty good for night fishing and you can't see much and only one fish was caught. Heather with the cat call. Walleye here, fishy walleye kitty, anything call. Yeah, fishy, fishy, fishy. Dean says also get pike, but never caught one. There's pike in here in abundance, from my understanding, but I've never caught one either. There's pretty much everything in this river. I've read some sources say 120 species of fish in here, and I've read some sources say 180 species. But either way you look at it, over 100. That's a bunch of different kinds of fish. Karen, you can eat any fish really, and it depends what part of the world you're in, or even what state you're in. There's some states in the America to where people would despise a certain fish, would never even think about eating it. And then you go to a different state and it can be like a delicacy where they love it. Like carp. Like here, you wouldn't find a person eating carp if their life depended on it. But you go down south, there's people who cook carp 10 different ways and they love it. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. I tried so hard. I got these books at home, these encyclopedias like for different species of fish, like panfish and bass and walleye. I thought about doing a lot going live, like a little, just basically like a hangout session, and read some of them, show the pages and the pictures and read from some of them fish encyclopedias. They got like tips and tactics and stuff in them. And then hang out, jump back and forth, hang out with chat for a while and then jump back to reading some from the book. I might do that one of these days because I don't know how much I'm going to be able to go live this week. Probably, I know tomorrow I can't. Thursday I don't think. Like the next handful of days aren't looking good for fishing. Yep. If you go to the high, Dean says never caught a blue catfish, but goes up to the high has a chance. Yeah, just make sure that section of Ohio has them. Cause like this section, it's weird. Like blue catfish are so scarce. I'd almost go as far to say they're not in here, which they are, but they're very scarce. But if you go upriver in the Ohio River, you go upriver near Pennsylvania, they're in abundance. You go downriver, they're in abundance. But right here in this pool, not too common. My phone's probably about to die any minute, so if the stream just abruptly ends, that's what happened. Yeah, Dean, Pennsylvania stalks blue cats in the Ohio River. I mean, I don't know if they're stalking blue cats right now this year, but I've read uh, reports released by Pennsylvania's I forget what they call their DNR, but they don't Pennsylvania doesn't call their uh DNR. Like most states call them Department of Natural Resources. Uh I forget. They call theirs like the Game and Fish Commission or something. I don't know. Anyways, I've read reports from Pennsylvania's uh wildlife department talking about how many blue cats they stalked and what years they stalked them, and there's several years Pennsylvania stalked blue cats.